So hi everybody and welcome back to C++ tutorials for absolute beginners. This is video 317, and in this video we continue with our exercise. First of all, we stopped here at number 10, and like all time you should read the question, pause the video, answer the question as good as you can, and then compare it with my answer, or even better, compare it with online resources or good C++ books. So, and let's get started here. It says string literal, such as hello world, and you should try to explain the value category here. And you should pause the video, and I jump just now to the answer. So the answer is, first of all, value category is L value and is an exception compared to the other literals, because all other literals will be not an L value, they will be a PR value. So I hope you have this right. If not, no worry, because here's an explanation, and the explanation is string literals have memory location, and this explanation is very bad because I mean, it's not wrong, it is just bad, because what does this mean? String literals have a memory location, and let me explain this a little bit more now, because this looks very simple, the string literal, but actually it's a little bit more complicated than many think. First of all, let's start with string. You have to know that a type string here, std string, is not the same as a string literal. So you have to distinguish that. This here, this hello world, what I ask you as a string literal, is a string literal. It's not the type string. But you can see here what we do in C++ programming is we are assigning a string literal most time to a string. And the difference is here, a string is a class, and the class has more functionality than a string literal. For example, when you have now this variable here, we can do, because now the string literal is assigned to this class, and this class has, for example, which we already know, this concatenation. What was the concatenation in string? For example, I could now my first string, and I can use now this plus sign. This plus sign is an overloaded operator, but this one exists not here in the string literal. It exists only in the string class, and you can see, yeah, they are not really the same thing here. The only difference would be if they would also include this operator here, this one, but they didn't. So you have to use the class here, the string class, to make this a concatenation. For example, I am not finished my first string. I could make something like that, and this one would now write hello world plus hello world would be concatenated, so it makes not plus them, it will just put them together, right? Because this operator here, this plus, is overloaded in the string. All right, so that's the first thing what you have to understand, that a string literal is not a string. So we covered this one. The next thing interesting is, okay, what is the meaning string literals have a memory location? To understand this one is, you have to understand how string literals are treated by the compiler. And here a side note, this will you have to read a little bit history here again from C, the language C, because it comes from C, it was taken over to C++. So to understand all this kind of stuff a little bit more in detail, you have to start with C and then how they converted it to C++. But I skipped this part. You have to read this later a little bit on your own. I just explained how the compiler is treating now this one here. So what the compiler makes here with the string literal is, it sees the word hello world. The compiler says, okay, this is a string literal, I will create an array. So first of all, so this one here will the compiler said, I create for this hello world what you have provided here an array, and then I will save this array. First of all, I create this array, I put all the characters here in this array, because we know an array has elements, right? 1 2 3 started from 0 0 1 2 3, and these elements here, every element by its own is treated as a character. So we know an array has elements, but we can't throw in this hello world like in it. Only if you make a string array, but we are not making a type string array, which means a character array. Every part here is thrown in as a character. And the important part is, it's not that it is only treated as an array. The important part is here, this array has a static storage duration. And we learned already the word static storage duration. Static storage duration means this created array by the compiler will keep in memory till this program, which you started when I start this one here, till this, okay, it has now an error because it's not here, but till this program finishes or has an error like me, then it will cleaned up. So we learned this, right? The static storage duration still remains in the storage till the program exits. And this is the meaning here. Still literals have memory location. The compiler have saved it in the memory as an array, and it will keep there till the program ends. And this is just so the starting point. But if you have to understand this more in detail, like I said, you have to read this in good C++ books, and even a little bit history. Start with C, and then how they converted this to C++, and what they keep, what they changed, and why there is a const, and all this kind of stuff. But that's it for this video, for our basic understanding. And I hope you understood that. If not, like I said, no worry, we are still beginners. And with that said, I stop here. If you have any question, like all time, write in the comment section. See you in the next video. Bye, good luck, and like all time, have fun and never give up.